I'm known for my assemblage art, which comes out of collage. Collage was the medium of the 20th century, a simple French word meaning to glue, and built sites at the Museum of Modern Art, mounted an exhibition called The Art of Assemblage. And his essay explains the development of collage, and he breaks it down into the liberation of words, the beginning of the 20th century with Apollinaire and the Futurists, and then the papier-collé, the collages of Braque and Picasso. And then it moved into surrealism and what he called the collage environment, which is what we live in, completely surrounded with objects. No longer are there watertight compartments. In relationship to collage, how do you fit?
I try to be closer to painting with sculpture by making things already flat on the wall and still keeping the element of sculpture of assemblage more than, and then gluing it all together. I have like drawers organized by colors of little things.
Really?
And I cut and put everything in drawers by colors, and then sometimes it's animals, cities, and people. Is the three other dividing cuts. But anyways, that's the closest I've gone to painting was with collage.
I think the difference between my work and Rauschenberg's work is that he's a painter. So he's coming off of the wall. I'm more like a sculptor, starting in the middle of the room, but still wanting to have all the pleasures of painting.
Yeah. So George, when did you start making collage and why?
First,
what is collage to you? Like, what is it for you?
Gluing, originally, pieces of paper onto corrugated cardboard collage the size of a door was a valentine. So I started making objects of love. I knew nothing about art.
Nice.
You know, it was just a way of expressing love for my first wife. The question of the improvisational quality that jazz musicians have, since they're my heroes, I wanted to be able to improvise the same way and have like a structure. And I would say that for me, your colorations that you're doing here, you're like a musician, you know, playing notes that are colorful and high and long. And that is the freedom that we got through off the backs and shoulders of artists that preceded us. So that now we're free to do that and to blow. It's a need in the 20th century to dissolve all the fascist boundaries and begin to open at all times what's available in life. It goes back to the futurists. They wanted to use materials, steel, glass, chrome, all the things that were in their environment they thought were proper materials to be used in sculpture. The tradition in sculpture was to carve away and subtract. And with assemblage and collage, you're always adding. 100 years ago, they didn't talk about collage. They were called relief. You know, and so it was on the wall. And then there was a relief that comes off of the wall. Alto relief was high relief, bas relief was low relief. If you only showed this, that was low relief. If you showed the whole arm, that was alto relief. So then in the 20th century, we get a whole new vocabulary. Today, we have moved into such a complex bombardment of imagery. The painter, in this case, is moving off of the painted surface and into the room so that you're in real space.
When you look at your collages, do you think of them as a three-dimensional thing or a flat thing?
The moment that I matriculate in the 50s, there was this wanting to, you know, protrude out into life. You know, it was up against the wall, your work of art. And then we wanted to somehow be part of life, you know, and that, I think, that's when all of a sudden what was a relief on the wall becomes a sculpture in the round. And I just go by the piece. I have no blueprint. I don't have a story ahead of time. So they tell me,
Where
you
do they
know,
want to be?
yeah, and your humble servant.
Yeah.
In collage, what we have is this juxtaposition of imagery that was once a cohesive reality, and now it has been separated into elements, color, line, shape, and put back together.
Like, is it a shape or a color? Or?
Mostly color, mostly color. I think this happens all, first of all, the collages that I make come from looking at magazines upside down.
Oh, wow, nice.
And then I just, you know, and all of a sudden then that right, left, I don't know what it is dissolved. And I'm just looking at shapes and colors. And if I come across something I like, I tear it out. And then I have these pages, and it's like mining for gold. I take the scissors,
You use scissors
and edit through and find out the shape that I like. Then I have these tons of like flower petals, and they start playing with each other. The fashion magazines have incredible, so you can just cut out the shape, you know, so there's no buttons and it's just a colored shape. And then you're back to abstract expressionist work, which is where I come in the 50s. So growth, where's thy sting? It's an attempt, I feel, as an artist coming into the middle of the 20th century, to be able to use the environment and what's in the environment as raw materials, so that the line between life and art begins to become dissolved. And everything that is in life doesn't have to be faithfully drawn and painted and sculpted. You can actually take chunks of reality and use that as your raw materials for the work of art.